Brother Intuitive, and welcome to Divinely Decked. And this is where we do tarot and oracle reviews done Stacy style. And I have to tell you, it has been a journey to do this and 3 other deck reviews. For whatever reason, I recorded them, did about 2.5 hours worth of work, and recorded them with no sound. So this is the second version, and we are going to be reviewing the Chromatic Fates Tarot, and I absolutely love this deck. I did do an unboxing of this particular deck as well as the other 3 decks that I reviewed, but alas, it was not meant to be. So you're going to get you're going to get what you get. But let me tell you, I absolutely adore this deck. So I got this deck on Etsy. And the Chromatic Fates Tarot is a collaborative deck. So what does that mean? Collaborative deck as in each card is created by a different artist. And I have in the past had some collaborative decks through Kickstarter, and one of them was hugely successful and I absolutely love it and use it all the time. And the other one, not so much. And what I find with collaborative decks is it's about continuity. And if they're not able to keep continuity, if the style of the artwork is so disjunct from one card to the next, it just doesn't work for me. So I was a little nervous. I was a little hesitant. I saw this one on Etsy and I loved the look of it. I love color, and this has so much beautiful color in it. But I thought, you know what? I'll take a chance. And I've been working with it now for quite some time and really just enjoying this deck. So first of all, it's got kind of that sort of sateen finish, and it's a beautiful box. We've got, sort of writing on the one side, writing on the other side. It's a sort of a magnetic flip open, and here's a beautiful thing. Color. What a deep and mysterious language, the language of dreams. Loving this. And it comes with a couple of cards that are just sort of introducing us to this. So this is the Color Tarot Project, and it presents Chromatic Fates. And then it has a thank you card from all of the people who participated. And the inside is really cool too. It's got a lovely gold foiling shape on the inside. It does have a really cool book. And the other really interesting thing about this deck is that normally when you are checking out a tarot deck and opening it up for the first time, you are witnessing the Fool card as the first card. And it works back from there. This is done differently, and you'll see that when I go through the cards for you. So the book is very beautiful. Again, a nice sort of sateen finish, which I like. My hands are sweaty right now because it's 100 degrees out, literally. And I like it because it's not, leaving tons of marks. And then if you flip through the book, you see all the different colors on the page, and that's how the deck is. I'll show you that in a second. So it starts off with wands, and the major arcana are the last to be shown on the deck. So very, very cool book. I also have enjoyed the messages that have been in this book as well. So the card backs are really, really pretty. We've got this beautiful tree. I don't know that it's a tree of life, but it's a tree, and it's got this beautiful gold foiling that is sparkled throughout. It is a gold foiled deck. It's a gilded deck. And let's start with these cards. So the first one here is the Ace of Wands. And just look at this color. I love that there is gold foiling that is spread throughout the card as well. And this, of course, just is all about forging something. And of course, the Ace of Wands is pretty incredible for that. Then we have the Two of Wands. Again, we get that gold foiling in certain areas, highlighting certain elements of the card. The Three of Wands. This is a little bit of a fantastical approach, a very unique approach to the Three of Wands, being, I want to say, all about expansion. We have this little one and a little bird holding one of the other wands. And of course, this beautiful starburst that is highlighted in a little scarecrow. Here we have the Four of Wands. And this is an interesting depiction of the Four of Wands here as well. There are three figures, and each of them is holding a wand itself. And so I find that really kind of interesting when we're talking about celebration and sort of contractual foundations that are being established. Here we have the Five of Wands, no figures in here, simply a large ball of fire with those wands going up in flames. Six of Wands, a really cool victory card here. Loving this victory card, loving the fact that there's a woman depicted on the horse. Here we have the Seven of Wands, and this is absolutely incredible with all of that gilding. And there's a fish in here. Who would have thought that the Seven of Wands would contain fish? And here's the thing. What I love about this particular deck, again, there's continuity, even though each of the artists on these cards is different. It doesn't feel like such a different deck from card to card. I also love that they are so interpretive. They're so intuitive in the imagining of and the interpreting of the message of the actual traditional card itself. Here's the Page of Wands, the Knight of Wands. One of the things as a reader reading the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot, and that's what this is based off, it is a system of divination. And so you do get used to a particular flow of things. And sometimes your reading can get by rote, especially if you're just having a day. Maybe you're a little tired, you're a little under the weather, and you're having a day. It's easy for me to pull these cards and just read it based on the system of divination. But where's the fun in that? That is not, I want to say, coming from an intuitive perspective. And so I love this particular deck because the images, that was the Two of Coins. Here we've got the Three of Coins. The images are based on the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith, but unique enough in their own story that you can look at the card and you get so much from the story of the card. And I absolutely love that. Here's the Five of Coins. So we have a hooded figure like in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith, but we have a wolf. And we have a wolf with a tear coming down one of its eyes. We have the moon in the background. And whenever we see the head that is sort of haloed in the tarot, it indicates enlightenment. We don't often interpret the Five of Coins as a form of enlightenment. And yet this card is presenting that. It's also green. For growth, for healing. It's not surprising that the coins would be represented in green, obviously, but not all of the card colors match the traditional way that we use color, and I love that as well. Here's the Six of Coins. She's gorgeous. Seven of Coins. He kind of reminds me a little bit of like the Green Man. Eight of Coins, beautiful. So coins, of course, is pentacles as well. And Eight of Pentacles, this is a unique interpretation of the Eight of Pentacles. Normally we see, someone sort of hammering at their, at their little workshop doing what they need to do. He's actually hanging the stuff on the tree. So a sense of completion. Nine of Coins. I love this as well. She's got a glass of wine in her hands. And for those of you who've been following me for a while, you know I'm a winette. I love my wine, especially my day drinking and tarot segment that you guys can catch. And I was really drawn to that in this deck too, that there are a few cards that indicate wine. So it was just kind of a nice little nod to me. Here is the Knight of Coins. A beautiful depiction of the Knight of Coins. Here we have the Queen of Coins. And so you notice, I mean, the coins actually, they're all in green. You would sort of anticipate that they were all in green, but the royalty cards are a little bit different. And you'll see that soon. Here we are with the Ace of Swords. Beautiful Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is always one of those cards in the deck that I kind of judge whether or not I'm going to like the deck itself with that depiction. And I always love an Ace of Swords. Here's a beautiful depiction of the Three of Swords. When I look at this card makes me happy. The Three of Swords typically is a card of heartbreak and despair and pain and, an indication of self-care. When I look at this one, it's much more comforting, much more in that realm of self-care. Here's the Four of Swords, a very interesting Four of Swords. Normally the Four of Swords is depicted with someone, sort of a battle-weary soldier laying down. And this one, this guy's dancing. He's moving and shaking. This is a really cool Five of Swords, a single person here in the moonlight. Again, that enlightenment that is happening here. And of course, we have the gilded flecks within there as well. So in the traditional Rider-Waite Smith, there are two figures in the background, but this one, she's kind of on her own. So again, there's a lot that your intuition can tap into with these images. And that's what I really love the most about them. Six of Swords, moving on to calmer shores. Notice there's nobody in the picture. It's just a depiction of the ship itself. Seven of Swords, also very interesting. He actually looks really happy. He looks really, really content with himself. Eight of Swords. I love this depiction as well. Instead of sort of being surrounded by the swords, the swords of our mind, she's actually enveloped in the tree. So that's kind of really a fun way to look at it. Nine of Swords. So another interesting depiction. She's not sleeping. It's more, I want to say it's reflecting on the nightmare of things when we dwell on the worst case scenario, whether that's actually happening or not. 10 of Swords. This is beautiful. Look at all of the, it's like the blood that is coming out of the body is seeping into the soil and setting roots for the next life. This is about rebirth. It's the end of something, dead, done, and over with. And letting that go. Here's a beautiful Page of Swords. I love her. She's just phenomenal. I love this picture. Knight of Swords. And I like that all of these sort of royalty cards are, they have a lot of cohesion as well. I don't know what the exact story of this particular deck is, but I imagine the creators had a lot of collaborative meetings before actually going ahead and designing their cards, because I really feel that there is so much of that continuity in here. This is absolutely beautiful. Check out this Ace of Cups. This Ace of Cups has a black swan. You do not see that. I have never seen that done. I think it's a swan, at least. I mean, it looks like a swan to me. I love that. The Ace of Cups usually is really all about, that love and the overflow of energy and focusing on initiations and bringing in something new. The Black Swan, I feel, is really coming through to talk about the shadow work side of things where that's concerned as well. Here we have the Two of Cups, and I love this depiction. The soulmate in this card is in the mirror, and it's an encouragement to go within, to fall in love with self first. Three of Cups, Four of Cups, Five of Cups. Gorgeous, gorgeous imagery. Six of Cups. So this is one of a couple of cards that I feel like they stood out to me as maybe not being so much in the flow of the continuity. But I'm not mad at this card. I mean, it makes sense. It's a little more fantastical in nature, but it still falls in line with the rest of the, I feel like, what the story of this card deck is conveying. Beautiful Eight of Cups here. Of course, we often see people walking away, leaving the past behind. And what I'm seeing here is it's almost like he's creating his own portal. So he's able to leave these things behind while he is still in the moment. And that is an expression of how I would probably read that card if I got it pulled to me, is I can let go of whatever it is in my space without having to walk away, maybe in the physical. And just getting a hit on this would be a great message for anyone who is in a work type situation where they feel trapped. They have to stay at work. but the environment isn't so great. It's releasing yourself from the emotional attachment to what's going on so that you can still get your own needs met until something else comes along. Look at the beautiful gilding on this Nine of Cups. She's gorgeous. I love her hair. Beautiful Ten of Cups, another wine card that of course makes me happy, makes me smile. This one's really beautiful too. Page of Cups. The focus is not on the page itself. The focus is on the fish in the cup. And for those of you who are tarot enthusiasts like me, you know that there's always a debate around what that fish actually symbolizes. So I think that's an interesting interpretation. We've got the Knight of Cups. Queen of Cups, check her out. She is like a beautiful Indian or Arabian princess. I love that she's all in blue because blue is that throat chakra, finding your truth, speaking your truth, learning to communicate it in a creative way. And she's surrounded in the pink, the self-love and the self-care. She's confident. She's confident in what she has to offer. She's not afraid to, I want to say, to show it, to flaunt it. But she also recognizes that in order to be in balance, she has to love herself first. And I think that's just a great message. Here's the King of Cups. Really cool. You wouldn't expect to see a King of Cups all in pink. And I like that depiction. And now we're at the Major Arcana. Here is the Fool card. And what a cool image. It's like she's playing hide and seek. She's blindfolded, but she's laughing. She's happy about it. She's playful. She's not nervous about what is to come. Check out this Magician. So again, kind of a playful, whimsy-esque image here, a whimsy-esque feeling to the Magician, not so heavy, not so dark. We have the High Priestess, and I love the High Priestess card in general, and she's gorgeous. You don't often see the High Priestess depicted with green, and yet that's the primary colors in this. Of course, we do have the traditional pillars, but she's on the side. And I think that's really interesting too, to be witnessing her on the side from that side profile energy. So again, lots to interpret here from an intuitive perspective. We have the Empress here, and she is not depicted as pregnant here, but they are showing the pomegranates, and pomegranates represent the underworld, as above, so below. And I feel like that's really important that's being featured. The Emperor is being featured as a white snow owl. So lots of wisdom in that. And, nighttime, owls are nocturnal. The Hierophant. So loving this, it's got that Egyptian esque energy. We have some beautiful peace doves here. The Hierophant is focused on a feather in the center. It's like the feather is his focus. The feather is what he is scrying on. The Lovers, look at this beautiful energy. And again, we have that the gold flecks, not only on the gilded edge, but sort of in the center of the depiction. These are they're just gorgeous. I can't seem to put these cards down. The Chariot, I like this. I like that we're seeing, the light and the dark that is being reflected here. Of course, we have the fire of earth elements, and then we have spirit coming out the other side. And she's got that crown of enlightenment here as well, that's being depicted through the gold filigree that is in there. Beautiful Strength card. So I always have a love-hate relationship with the Strength card. It is a card of ego. It's a card of the inner child. There are many different things. And in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith, I'm an animal lover. So you'd think that this card would be my happy place, because I've always wanted to put my face in the face of a lion and love up on it and have it love up on me. But there's just something about the card that I've never been able to resonate with. This card in this deck, I get the Strength. I get this card. This card speaks to me. So I was really excited to see that. It's the best Strength card I've ever seen in a tarot deck. Here's the Hermit, and she's all in red. I think that's just incredible that she's all in red. We don't often see the Hermit depicted all in red, and it's root chakra. I'm safe and secure enough to be able to go and do this self-exploration to figure out who I want to be. The Wheel of Fortune. She's gorgeous too. She reminds me very much of the Justice. sort of the natural justice energy coming up and coming through here. And then speaking of justice, now we have the justice card, and she's a little bit different in the way that she's depicted, very Egyptian in nature. We have the, being weighed by the heart, being weighed by the feather. This is an Egyptian tradition. And so I really enjoy that. Here we have the hanged man or the hanged one. And what an interesting perspective that we have here. We're seeing her, she is hung upside down, but we're actually seeing her as we're looking up from her situation. So I think that's yet another really cool perspective on a card that indicates a shift in perspective. And the death card, check this out. Beautiful, kind of a gray blue, a stormy blue. Confidently walking forward, but represented like in human form, a skull mask, but the rest of that body is in human form. Here's the Temperance card. Temperance card is another one of those cards that always indicates to me whether or not I'm going to like the card deck in general. And it's one of 4 cards in the tarot that is depicted by an angel. And what I think is really cool here is, yes, she's got the wings, but she looks a little more fairy-esque to me than angel. And so I kind of like that shift. I like that change, that she's got her fairy wings, and it doesn't necessarily need to be angelic in nature. That we're giving a shout out to the fairies. Here's the Devil card. Who would have ever thought a devil would be depicted by pinks and purples with just a hint of red? Really imaginative the way that they've seen this. The Tower card, I love this. So it's almost like the tower is being sucked up into another dimension, another portal, giving us permission to be able to let it go and move into something else and something new. It's clearing the decks, clearing the slate. Here we have the beautiful Star card, and I always love a Star card. That's another one of my absolute favorite cards in the deck. And I love this depiction. There is no person here. There's no person with one toe in the water, one toe out. There's no depiction of one with their, the jugs going in and then looking up at the stars. This feels very much like that futuristic energy that is saying, and it reminds me of the tower. And it's saying, look at the new tower, the vision of the new tower that you could have. This is the vision of what is to come. It isn't yet, because you might be at this time watching the tower burn to the ground. But this is the vision of what it can become on the other side when you build better. The Moon. This one's so pretty. I love all the sort of pastel-y colors that are being recognized in there. Here we have the Sun. The Sun is another card, believe it or not, that I have kind of a love-hate relationship with. And I actually don't mind this depiction. I really love that there are some foiled butterflies in there. The sun is the light of truth. The sun is very much about shining a light of truth on things. It gives heat, it gives warmth, it gives light. Without this, photosynthesis cannot happen. So there is a transformational quality to the sun, and I like how she's depicted. And then we have the Judgment card. And again, we've got this beautiful angelic figure, but it's very futuristic in nature. And I love the galaxy theme that's coming out in this. Definitely gives you pause to say, what choice am I ready to make here? And then we have the World card. Sorry, I'm still getting used to my camera dimensions. And the World card is absolutely beautiful. So, again, normally it's depicted by a woman in the center of a wreath, and in the 4 corners, we've got different animals sort of being represented. This one I like because there are hints of animals. It almost looks like a panther here. There are hints of animals within the artwork, but it is very impressionistic. And I see the world, and I see the world coming into its own, being rebirthed anew. And so I just think that's so cool. Okay, so in true Stacey style, what I like to do that I have not seen other people do is, if you liked this deck, I'm going to just pull a card from this deck, for anyone who feels like you could really benefit from working from this deck, how this deck wants to work with you. And, you know, every deck has its own story. Every deck has its own energy and frequency. So let's see what the one is for you here. Oh, beautiful. Ace of Cups. So this card for you guys, this card deck is always going to be an initiation into your imagination, into the possible, into the, I want to say, the spaces in between and the thinking outside the box, especially because this Ace of Cups is such an out of the box impression of the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith Ace of Cups. Also, swans, I want to say, I always see swans as starseeds. So if you also identify as a starseed or a light worker, this is a card deck that's going to really support your visions, and it's going to support the information that you get by being very true and clear. That the messaging will be full, enriching, and overflowing. But you have to treat this well. You have to be willing to receive the messaging and the guidance that comes through. So that is how this Chromatic Fates Tarot wants to work with you. And there is our review of this fantastic, incredible deck. I hope you enjoyed this and found it just as fascinating as me. I absolutely adore tarot cards and oracle cards. I absolutely am obsessed. And when I find a deck that I'm absolutely obsessed about, I'm just so excited to share it. And so I hope you enjoy it. I hope you guys have the most amazing week. And we will see you on the flip side. Transform well. That's our show for today. I hope you enjoyed it. It was great to connect with you guys. Please like, subscribe, and comment for more content like this. And feel free to follow me on Blue Sky for even more content every single day. Can't wait to see you guys next week for another installment of Black Feather Couture, Divining the VIP Life.